What's up, what's up, my fellow creators? Welcome, guys. I hope you are having a phenomenal day. Thank you for joining me for today's discussion. This is going to be on grief. Grief. This is a topic that is very near and dear to my heart. Before we get into it, though, please like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel down below. Make sure you guys set that notification bell so you always know when the next video does go live. And make sure you check out some of my other videos, some of my positive videos and some of my readings as well. And yeah, let's get into this topic of grief. I feel like grief is something that no matter if you've experienced death or not, we all deal with it, because you can experience grief from a broken heart, a failed relationship, a failed family situationship, a failed job. Right? Grief is just basically mourning something or someone that was lost. And today I want to speak more so on the people that we've lost rather than the situations that we've lost. And I'll have another video where I go into about situations that we've lost. Grief was really hard for me. You know, when I was in my 20s, my great-grandmother passed away. And we weren't that extremely close. Yet when it really hit me was when my brother passed away, just before his 30th birthday. And it hit me like a bowling ball, a wrecking ball. It took me out. I couldn't go to work for like 2 weeks. I would wake up in the middle of the night sobbing my eyes out. And yeah, I still don't feel like I grieved my brother at that time in a healthy way. I was so stricken by not being able to just say hello. I love you, brother. Getting a hug. Even fighting with him. You know, siblings. I was so lost. Because here was this person that I had spent my entire life with. Gone. And I had just spoken to him. And he was gone. In the blink of an eye, he was gone. And I didn't know what I was going to do. And I think a lot of people, when they lose somebody, whether it's a sibling, a parent, a loved one, a husband, a wife, a child, a grandparent, a mother, a father, whatever it is, right? Like, my mother passed away 4 years after my brother did. And it was reflection for me. And I think that a lot of people, when somebody loses someone, the first thing that they say is, I'm sorry. And for myself, what used to go through my head was, what are you sorry for? It's not like you had anything to do with this, and your sorries don't bring them back, and it really doesn't make me feel better. And then the other one was my condolences. And I used to think the same thing, like, that's nice that you have condolences, but I could really use a friend. But nobody knows how to be your friend when you've lost somebody and all you really just want is someone to sit with you, hold your hand, give you a hug, tell you time will heal, even though that gets old too. But at least that's better than I'm sorry and my condolences. And I bring this up not to make those that say that feel bad, because you guys are trying your best to give love. When somebody's going through it, though, they hear it so much. It seems like such a canned, unemotional response. And the things that people don't tell you is that you start to experience different emotions as you go through the stages of grief. And, you know, they have the 5 stages. What are they? Like anger, sadness, like sorrow, pity, like the why. I don't remember the other ones. And then finally acceptance. And so many people get stuck in one of those stages, and they never actually are able to move into the stage of acceptance, and they're not ever sure why, and it ends up affecting their everyday life. And when something happens that reminds them of that person, they're immediately going to go into a state of grief again, and whatever stage they're in is going to be amplified, and they're going to feel that, and they're going to be stuck in that, and they're going to mirror that to the whole world. So I bring grief in as a way to remind you guys that even if you don't believe in the afterlife, heaven, whatever's next, right? If you really believe that when we die, we just die, this technique can still help you. Why? Because sometimes it's hard for us to spend time with ourselves and get answers from ourselves. And what I found that helps me the most, that helps me to really embrace and accept that they're gone, is by talking to them as though they were still here. And I'm sure some of you guys are like, you are crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Like, they're gone. They're not going to hear me. And I don't think it's about them hearing you as much as it is saying what you felt you never got to say. You know, when we lose somebody, there's always that immediate feeling of regret that I don't know what to, like, why didn't I say what I really felt? Why didn't I say what was on my mind? Why didn't I say what was on my heart? You know, if I could have just said I love them one last time, if I could have just told them how I was sorry for what happened, how I could have just said, I wish that things didn't end the way that they ended. I wish that we left on this. You know, there's so many wishes that a person says when somebody passes. And I bring up this technique as a way to fulfill those wishes on your own. Tell them that you love them. I love you. I love you, Grandpa. I love you, Grandma. I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I love you, brother. I love you, sister. I love you, lover. Whatever it is, whoever. The title makes no difference that you care about them. You love them. Right? The title only states what position they played in your life. That doesn't take away that you cared about them and that you felt deep love for somebody. Part of grief in the acceptance phase is really truly accepting that they're no longer here physically. You know, for me, the hardest thing to accept was that I could no longer go and talk to my mom and hug her. How much a mother's hug felt like it solved everything. And how my brother would just encourage me so much in life. Like, he just listened, and he always seemed to experience my life through my stories, and I somehow miss that, you know, and I still get emotional. Having accepted their death doesn't mean that the emotion of missing them goes away. And when everybody's like, well, time will heal, what time does is it accentuates the time without them. You have to consciously choose to heal. You can't just let time pass and hope that one day you'll be able to accept it. Because the truth of the matter is that you're not ever going to accept it if you don't allow yourself space. Because time is space. If you don't allow yourself space to accept what has happened, and this tip of speaking to them as though they are here regardless of your belief, is a way to give yourself that space and to no longer hold in all that you wish you could have said, all that you wish you could have done. Just because they're not here anymore doesn't mean that you can't do that. And it feels weird at first. It feels uncomfortable. And it feels like you know, like people are going to judge you. But none of that matters, because your healing is more important than the judgments that another person will hold. And when you heal from that pain, you're going to seem different. No matter what stage of grief you're stuck in, the quickest way to get out is to talk to them. Talk to them. And even if you're not hearing their voice, and even if you're not getting the answer from them and it's coming from within, that's what healing is. Finding the guidance that comes from within our hearts. And sometimes speaking to our past loved ones who we cared about so deeply is the only way for us to open that bridge. I didn't talk to my brother when he passed away. I talked to my mom when she did. The day she passed away, I knew the minute that she passed away. And I can't explain it. I can't give you guys some cut and dry reason as to why, other than my mom carried me for 9 months. How could I not know when that was severed? And I want to tell you guys, it's okay to cry. It's okay. Even 20 years down the road, it's still okay to cry. Because it's still sad. But it's a beautiful thing that we're all promised. And if we all spend time in fear of the one thing that each and every person is promised in life, which is death, we're going to stay stuck in whatever stage grief has us in. And we're going to allow our entire lives to be run by that stage. So I bring this short video to you just to encourage you to try. Whoever it is that you're grieving over right now, how can you allow yourself the space to speak to them no matter how weird it feels? Talk to them as though they never left. And then allow yourself the space and silence to see what answers come. Because you may be shocked at what happens. And some of you might not hear any answers, but you might feel a relief of releasing, of holding on to something that can no longer be. And that's healing too. Life isn't perfect and death is messy. Can you be okay with that? Thank you guys for joining me for this discussion. Until next time, go forth boldly, my fellow creators, and courageously find creative ways to rise above in life, laughter, and love. Becky's out of the house for now. Until next time, mwah. Peace out, guys. I love you. Bye.